Hi, I'm Pat Fiume. I've been a realtor for over 30 years. I'm a host of the American Dream Show. Welcome to my show, Is This for Real Estate? Okay, welcome back. We're here at the ECLIPSE Brewery again. They were on our show we did for the American Dream in Merchantville. And we came back to do a podcast for Is This for Real Estate here because they were so interesting and it's such a cool brewery. It's
the highest rated brewery on Yelp. It doesn't mean we have the best beer, but it means we have the happiest.
That's right.
And our beer is good.
And the beer
is very good. Everybody, my son, all his friends, I know they come here all the time. They love this place. Everybody that knows this place is very loyal to it. So how did you get your start, I guess, in breweries first?
Well, actually, I started home brewing. I think Jimmy Carter was president.
Wow.
40 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Beth and I, we were both second time around, but we were dating and we went to Cape May Brewery when it had first opened. Mm-hmm. And when we walked out, Beth said, you know, we could do this when we retire. And then we both went back to work and forgot about it. Then I actually had a health issue. I broke my hip. I was out of work for a while. And I said to Beth, I think we should really do that. And worked on it. I went back to my regular job. It took years to actually happen, but we did most of the work that made it happen while I was disabled. And that's how we did it.
So how did you wind up here in Merchantville?
Well, I tried several different places.
Sure.
Back quite a ways back, not all towns were as welcoming as they probably are now.
Today,
yes.
They fight over them.
Right. Now towns are looking for microbreweries. Absolutely. Back then they were not, right. And I found some of the towns less helpful. I don't mean that Merchantville let us do things that we shouldn't have, or let us get by without doing things we should have. But still, it's helpful to be wanted by the town as opposed to unwanted by the town.
Right. The cooperation and to get started.
This was the third place we tried.
Wow.
And this is the one that worked.
We met with Mayor Ted Brennan,
mm-hmm.
and he was excited about having a brewery come to Merchantville. We looked at another building. We didn't really want it. It wasn't our style. Our style is more you're drinking our homebrew in our living room, and he showed us this former EMS building. And we thought, this is more our style, more laid back. And here we are. We were able to expand outside during the pandemic, which increased our seating capacity a great deal.
Yeah.
And being in the midst of a community is just a wonderful thing. You know, they have embraced us and shown us so much love that we never thought about in opening a brewery. But this is a gathering place for local people.
Yeah.
It's now become a stop when people are shopping at the mall and they say, brewery's near me, and ECLIPSE pops up. And so we get people from all over the place.
And the whole town is so walkable.
Yes.
You know, and you're right in the center here. Like, people can walk home if they want, you know, and have a beer or to hang out with their friends. And I love what you did outside. I even loved it so much I had my premiere party for my Merchantville show here, and everybody went crazy over this place. They thought it was the most adorable, cutest place, and everybody swore they're coming back. So, but they have events here too. You have outdoor tents and things like that, or you can have parties here.
Sure. We have music on Tuesday nights. Just a group of wonderful people that come and play. Just come and jam acoustic style. We have trivia on Wednesdays. We frequently have bus tours on the weekend. But we've had birthday parties. We've had night before wedding parties, rehearsal parties, bachelorette parties here. Some guys stopping by on a bachelor tour, breweries.
Right.
So we welcome people.
Although we never close for somebody's event, which a lot of breweries do.
Right.
But I know that when I go to a brewery expecting it to be open, they say, "Oh, we're closed for an event."
Sorry, folks, park's closed. The moose out front should have told you.
And then you're kind of put out a little bit because you came expecting this place to be open. So we like to say that we're open every day of the year except for when?
Christmas Day, the only day that we're closed.
Yeah.
Christmas Day. I remember when I was single before I met Beth, it'd be very lonely on certain holidays that a lot of places are closed. So we're open those days too.
Aw, taking care of the lonely guys out there.
There's always people that might not have family or friends around, and they see a smiling face when they come in the door.
It's like the Cheers bar,
Sure.
everybody knows your name.
And they're always glad you came.
And this is that kind of place.
Yeah.
Like everybody I know who comes here says they know everybody when they're here, or know a lot of people when they're here. So how did you get started? I see all your different brews, and you brew everything on site, correct?
Yes, we are still in pots. We have a very small brew system, but we brew 3 times a week. But out of one batch, you can actually make a couple kinds of beers. We have a lot of little tricks.
Like flavorings and stuff?
Well, some
They're
things
sort
get
of
some
like that,
flavor.
by the way.
You can make a strong beer and a weak beer out of a batch. There's a lot of different ways you can
Okay.
make several batches out of one batch. You can make more than one kind of beer when you're making a batch of beer.
Okay.
And we do try to cover most of the bases. If you do look at our,
Everybody loves, I think, I heard
Yeah,
a
we
lot
have-
about the coconut beer, I think it was.
well,
That's one of our favorite.
one of our biggest sellers, and
Yeah,
it's really
I've heard
because
about that from a couple people.
you can't really, it's coconut, real coconut. Artificial flavors are shelf stable, but real coconut flavor is not shelf stable.
Right.
And we put our coconut in the beer as we put it on tap. It's something that I don't know any other brewery that does. And it's because we're more like home brewers, and we use home brewer tricks that bigger brewers really can't use
Right.
because we are so
Volume
small.
and stuff,
Yeah.
So what else can you tell us about your place here that's unique and different to you?
It really hasn't changed much since we opened, although some of the things that we started doing when we opened were a little novel, but now they're kind of industry-wide for small breweries.
Okay.
When we opened, having as many taps as we have was unheard of, kind of,
Yeah.
I think, and now it's become the norm, but we really haven't changed to become the norm. We were that before it was the norm.
You were a trendsetter.
And when I was a home brewer 30 years ago, my thing was I had a refrigerator in the basement, and I had I had a beer library, and that's what I wanted to do when we opened, and that's kind of what we have. And we have most styles of beer. We'll always have a couple of dark beers, well, sometimes we'll have a wit, but we do have a lot of fruit beers. I did not intend that to be, like we were gonna be a fruit beer place, but they sell for us, and so we continue to
And you
make them.
Right.
I had made a few as a home brewer, and so I put a couple on tap, and they sold well, and that's one of the reasons why we have so many fruit beers.
And now sours are more popular in beer culture. And
Oh, really?
sour beers are a big thing. We have 3 on tap right now, but we try to have at least 2 because we know that'll bring people in, as well as fruit beers. But your thought always was, if 8 people come in, we want to make sure there's something for everybody. So we have a light beer, and then we have a Russian Imperial Stout. So those are very 2 on the spectrum of beers. But we have things in between. We don't just have all IPAs.
Something for everybody's taste.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you sell beer here? Can you take beer home, or are you allowed to do that?
We sell it in
I thought
growlers.
I saw some kind of container when we were here before.
Yes, we do. We have
Okay.
glass growlers, 32 ounce and 64 ounce, and we do cans called growlers. We fill on demand and seal them right then and there. We don't have anything prepackaged. And we don't distribute, you can't find our beer at a restaurant or a liquor store. Get it here to take it, and we work hard enough just to have all these beers on the tap. We don't have room, storage actually, to keep other beer.
Yeah.
So
That
we're
makes
busy.
sense. And I see you have a lot of really cool T-shirts, and I love that wall over there. You have people from all over the world with your T-shirt on. They got pictures of it.
Yes, it's wonderful.
That's cute. Very loyal customers, which is a good thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
and our maps on the wall, we have
I
some maps
know.
where you can put a pin from where you're from. That could be
Wow.
where you were born, where you've lived most of your life. Not attract
Amazing.
people from every state, all over New Jersey, all around the world.
That's really amazing.
All the South American countries except for 2 tiny ones. We have more than half the African countries, all the European, most Asian
That's
countries.
amazing.
New Zealand, Tonga, Madagascar. It's amazing
Wow.
the number of people who have come here from far away. I
They've
sometimes
heard about you even over there.
I sometimes you know, I'll hear someone speaking with an accent, and I'll ask where they're from, and at first sometimes they are a little bit nervous that I'm asking about it, and then I say, I want you to put a pin on the wall, and then all of a sudden that makes them happy, and they feel, it makes people feel included, or like, you know, inclusive, I think. And we're very proud of those maps.
Yeah, we've got a great establishment here. It's very well known, very beloved. Everybody who comes here I know loves this place. Mike, I have a question. I guess, do you have any funny stories in closing that you tell at a cocktail party? Everybody's got that story that their go-to.
My son lived in Singapore, and a woman came in here, and she's putting a pin in the map in Singapore.
Oh, that's crazy.
I said, I told her my son lived there. She said, well, I'm about to go back there. So then I said, well, I'm going to go there eventually. If you give me your email, I'll email you. Maybe we'll catch a beer in Singapore. So we did, and her name was Encha, and we met in Singapore at a brewery called
Pink Blossom.
Blossoms. I bought my wife a T-shirt, and she would wear it to bed all the time. And then recently we went to a brewers convention in Nashville.
Oh, wow.
And we're sitting down, resting because we've been doing a lot of walking.
Oh, yeah.
And all of a sudden Beth goes, Pink Blossoms, and she sees someone wearing the shirt from Pink Blossoms.
Yeah.
So I run over to the guy and I tell him this story, and he looks at me and he goes, Encha's my best friend.
Oh my God.
And this is a small world story, of which we get a lot of
That's
small world stories
crazy.
here. But that's it.
Yeah.
I think it's neat that Chris is on the higher age spectrum of brewers/brewery owners in the state. And I know one time people
Lot of
said, oh, we
experience.
refer to you as Uncle Chris when we're all together, like the younger guys.
Well, they have somebody good to look up to.
They do, and it's a wonderful, and I think that our age
Experience
is different too. It gives a different perspective, and I think people our age, when they see us, they come in and they feel more welcome too, instead of going to a 25-year-old
Hipster kind of
hipster
place.
stuff,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
cool because we like to go to those places too.
Yeah.
That was great, huh? And I couldn't have done it without you.
Hey, well, thank you for being with us on this. Is this for real estate?
So, thank you very much.
Thank you for highlighting us, Pat.
Yeah.
Oh, my pleasure.
Thank
You
you.
guys were great.
Thank you so much.